Actor Danny Masterson is being investigated for sexual assault. You may know Danny Masterson from that '70s show. Also recently he's on the Ranch with Ashton Kutcher. According to the Huffington Post, quote, the Los Angeles Police Department Robbery Homicide Division Sexual Assault Section is conducting an investigation involving the actor Danny Masterson. The LAPD actually told The Wrap that in a statement on Friday. This was also on Huffington Post. The quote goes on to say, 3 women have come forward and disclosed that they were sexually assaulted by Masterson during the early 2000s. Now, Masterson is a Scientologist. The women are Scientologists. The reason why that is being brought up is because it is being investigated by a journalist. This is before the LAPD got involved. So the journalist, Tony Ortega, who runs an anti-Scientology website called The Underground Bunker, he's the one that's been investigating Danny Masterson in a number of different things with Scientology. And he spoke with these women who were fearful to come forward because of, according to the documents, the pressure by the organization to not contact the police, okay? So not only did Tony Ortega publish a bunch of this stuff on his website, but he also went to Leah Remini. Leah Remini, you guys know her, the actress, and she's been very outspoken against Scientology. She was a longtime Scientologist. She was born into it. And since her departure and leaving Scientology, she has had a number of different documentaries. There's one right now, documentary series on A&E. And she is now involved too. So according to this article, she met with LAPD, she met with the girls, she helped encourage the girls to feel safe, because one example that she gave, according to the Huffington Post, she says, quote, I met with the LAPD, I met with Detective Reyes, and I told her these victims deserve to be heard. I pointed out to her that there is a framed picture of a Scientologist on their wall, actor Michael Pena. So this was in the police department. So she was showing the police department that not only are these women already scared, according to her, being a part of this organization that's trying to silence these allegations, and not wanting them to come forward, but also it's these things that we don't think about. Perhaps you see a photo of a famous actor and it's a Scientologist, and there's a lot of power embedded in that. And then also Danny Masterson has spoken through his rep, Jenny Weinman. This statement was released with The Hollywood Reporter. It reads, quote, it reads in part, quote, based on reading the anti-Scientology blog that posted the story, these false allegations appear to be motivated to boost Leah Remini's anti-Scientology television series, since the alleged victims only came forward after connecting with Leah Remini. And the Church of Scientology has yet to respond to any of these allegations. We just continue to hear more and more damning, horrific allegations coming forward from the Church of Scientology, and these 3 women are just another case added to the mix.
So this is tough. We talk about this all the time on the show. When there is like an allegation and it goes into investigation, my response to that is good. Yeah. Someone had the courage to come forward and probably had, by the numbers, probably was, this actually happened to, had the courage to come forward. But that's not enough for me to say that that person was absolutely assaulted and Danny Masterson absolutely assaulted them. So now we're in the point where we sit and we wait, and we have to have faith in the justice system, even though sometimes it does let us down. So that's one aspect of it. The thing that really pisses me off that I just noticed this time when you were saying it is the response from Masterson's people, and whoever it is that is the accused is saying, this person is a hungry, thirsty bitch. It's like, why do you have to do that? Now we're characterizing the other person as terrible, rather than something that, if you are right and nothing was done by your client, was just to say, well, we're going to let the investigation play out and hope and the truth will prevail.
Instead of maligning the victims in the place. Great point.
And just to jump off of that, we have to remember that people that come forward and allege sexual assault, to say that they're just thirsty bitches looking for fame, it ruins lives. It ruins lives. No one does this for fun, and I hope that this is not like a publicity thing for Leah Remini's show. And I think it's really gross that that is being pointed out by Masterson's team. And also going into the statements from Masterson's, I guess, publicist, it's just troubling because it's just such a mischaracterization, I think, of both sides, honestly, because again, we are coming into an investigation. We have to respect that that is going to be conducted fairly and with due process. So it's just not fair for all the mudslinging to be going around before we actually actually know exactly what the evidence is here. But just remember that if someone is coming forward, it's not because it's fun for someone to come forward and allege sexual assault. It's life ruining. It's absolutely horrific what these women are now going through. And if they have found comfort in Leah Remini, it shouldn't matter what her ties are, because I would, again, and maybe I'm wrong and then she is a monster, but I don't think so, that she would be doing this for fame. If they found comfort in Leah Remini, who did make it out of Scientology, then good for them that they would find comfort during this trying time for all parties, you know?
She got that King of Queens money.
She doesn't need, she's doing just fine. She feels like it's her personal responsibility to expose the horrors of this church. Maybe. I'm speaking from what her motive is.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that's necessarily true or not.
Well, I mean, okay, so let's not disassociate Remini and Masters and talk about the alleged victims, because if you read the article in the Underground Bunker, it goes through the whole investigation with certain people within the LAPD and how they kind of dropped the ball and misled some of the people, and how fearful it must be for these women who, religion, how can I say this without sounding like a complete asshole? Religion is a scary thing for a lot of people. There's a lot of power, as you said, embedded in religion. You know, my husband's an ex-Mormon, and he told me from a first account, when he defected from the church, the type of horrors he faced and the power that these churches have to basically and essentially erase you from the face of the earth, to ruin your life. So I can understand the fear that these women had, that this may have happened years ago, but to have that stew and fester for almost 20 years and now finding a beacon of hope in Leah Remini, like you said, is a positive thing. But we need to bring awareness to how much power religion that we give to religion, because like if in the article, the lady walked into the LAPD and saw Michael Pena's picture. How can she then find comfort in knowing that her story is going to be taken seriously and that she has a safe haven with the cops if the villain is staring her right in the eyes with this picture? Does that make sense?
No, it does make sense.
That said,
and
I like a lot of celebrities. I liked Bill Cosby a lot. My opinion changed over time. So they have Michael Pena in there because he's hilarious and he's a good actor, not necessarily because they think that he has.
Of course, but the victim doesn't know that.
But like their job is to, the victim doesn't know that. That's right. So it is one of those like trigger things where you're like, oh shit. To everyone else, that's just a picture of that guy from all the Judd Apatow movies.
That a lot of people wouldn't know is a Scientologist.
Right.
And I didn't know that until the story.
Yeah.
Right.
I still like him though.
To echo, to piggyback on your point, it's really hard, I can imagine, for a victim, just a victim in general, to come forward because of the scrutiny, because of the shame, because of the maligning of their character. And then on top of that, I think that, it's to speak about the religion, and we've all seen the documentaries on Scientology, and to say that that's truthful, there's been way too many accounts in my book to say that it's not truthful, where people come forward saying that if they deter from the church, or if they speak out against the church, that they essentially, it ruins their life.
Sam,
it ruins their life. So can you imagine not only deciding to leave the church, but then also doing something that's gonna hurt the church's brand? That's a lot to take on already as a person, let alone if you're a victim.
And people are fanatical. I mean, again, I'm not trying to say that religion is bad. I would never ever say that. I mean, to each their own. People believe whatever you find comfort in. But again, I am in a relationship with someone who is part of a church, of a religion that has similar elements as Scientology, what they believe and how fanatical they are. And he has told me some of this, things that have happened that you would not in real time believe. And this is someone who walked the walk and lived the life. So,
and it's not all religions, but there is definitely religions that do use their power to silence those that may threaten the name or the brand of that religion, and that's scary. And so, but I do agree with Brett, at the end of the day, this is an open, active investigation. That's a great thing, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So stay tuned. I'm sure we will continue to cover this story, and please share your thoughts, and we'll see you next time.